meant for making. But academics is basically primarily to serve the society. That's the basic difference. Now here everything starts. That when you are in a college and in academics, so you will see that the most of the areas in your learning process and your whatever experience you are having process of education. So here money is not the primary driver, and but in industry, as I said, that ultimately everything transfers into that, whether industry that organizes itself financial concept. That's the basic difference. Next is in uh, in an academics. See, in our personal life, what we classify is segregated into different areas. 40% time we just listen in industry. Suppose we spend 10 hours a day or 8 hours a day. There is a thumb rule, right? 40% time we listen, and 35% time we read, and then 16% time we read, and 9% write. That's the broad classification in industry. But the funny thing is that in academics, you will see that this 16% and 9%, this 25%, we are more focused on this 25% of this. But somehow here it's not a direct education on the 75%. We learn, definitely learn, but we learn through various processes. That is the number one difference in between industry and this is how number that in industry there are different sectors, and different sector they have their own strategy. In academics, you come and you have certain syllabus, you have certain papers, very structured. After 4 years, you get out of it and then join up, whatever it means, and be self-employed, job, bad education. But in industry, so if industry is very fast changing. How it's changing? Because here your academics and all these things are not that much, very much influenced by the market. Industry is very much influenced by the market. So, once hello, hello,
Hello.
yeah, am I audible properly?
Now you're audible.
Okay. So, say I'm in power industry. Okay, in power sector, how it the demand comes from the customer. Who are the customers? Customers are basically you and me, all are customers. And these are basically individual customers. They are collect big customers. Like industries are also big customers, shopping malls, hospitals, all are customers. So the whole industry is driven by this regard. Now, say for example, in India, overall requirement of power is 372 gigawatt. Gigawatt means 1000 watt is 1 kilowatt. Then 1 megawatt of 1000 kilowatt, 1 megawatt and 10 to the power 6, and then 1 gigawatt. This 1000 megawatt is 1 gigawatt. So 370 gigawatt is the installed base in India as of now. Now out of these 3,372 gigawatt, 200 gigawatt is coal. Rest is gas or wind or renewable, solar, whatever may be. Now, as on date, the demand is 185 gigawatt. 10 years back, the situation was quite different. Now, today we have a 10 years back, we have a power deficit situation. Today we have a surplus situation. Second is because of, might be knowing, there are environmental conditions, there are environmental restrictions. Now, government and globally, things are changing from fossil to renewable. So how it impacts us? Industry. So we are in an industry where 10 years back, organization spent huge money on capex. Capex means facilities, machineries. After 10 years, most of the companies globally and financiers, even governments, they have exit from this whole business. Now they are focusing on renewable. So now there is a challenge that how to cope up in this current changing scenario. This is this is how industry works, because every time you will face challenge, you face changes depending on the market scenario, and you have to cope up with the situation. This is overall. Now, how you are connected to this, that is most important, because all of you guys are students. You will be coming out from the college, then you will be getting a job or you will enter into the industry. That time you won't have this much of about how the industry works and how it is being changed. Because whatever opportunity will come, say if you get say 2 or 3 opportunities, you will take one. So here, what you need to do, that you have to be vigilant, vigilant in the sense, vigilant that how the different sectors like automobile sector, agricultural sector, aviation sector, that how things are changing. So what are the source of information? Source of information basically different channels, different channels of information. It can be media, social media, it can be print media, can be papers. So this is where you need to be little bit vigilant because that how things are changing. Okay. So it's not a big thing. See, everybody we are also coming across the same situation and it's all learning process. The difference is that in our colleges, we get much of it. Second thing is how to cope up with the industry. Here, the basic difference again that there are two different skills. One is called soft skill, another is called hard skill. We focus mostly on the hard skills. Hard skills are basically measurable. What are the hard skills? Hard skill is like your technical knowledge, or how you know the technical knowledge. Then, when you enter into the industry, then how that technical knowledge is implemented and how you are during the process of your work, that is one area, that is a hard skill. So how we will do that? Cope up in the industry. In industry, there is no classroom training, right? And there is no classroom coaching also. So only maybe once in a year, twice in a year, you will get this. So mainly, it's learning through doing. That's the key message or key learning that you have to learn doing on. How? Just for example, say if you ask one doctor that can you please give me a name of say 200 medicines or 100 medicines, you will see that the doctor may say that it's not possible right at this moment that just give you 100 name of 100. But if you ask the doctor 10 diseases, he or she may come up and answer you and give feedback 300 medicines. That's the basic difference. This is how you need to cope up in the industry. You have to ask, have to involve in the job, you have to involve in the process. Then automatically you will see that you will find somewhere after some time that you have acquired it. Now, second thing that during this process of learning, you have to divide your journey or divide your learning in basically two areas. Number one, that how you are focusing on the present. Means you have given a task. Normally, what happens? More you go, it is more from task orientation to managing. That is a managerial job. Otherwise, unless until people are unique expert in or subject matter expert. So always keep a mind that 75% of your time keep on learning through doing. At the same time, you give at least 25% time for future. That is how you can cope up with the industry. And how to invest 25% on future? Like suppose one of you guys you are in one say in engineering or in design function or whatever maybe. Suppose if you are in software or you are doing coding, whatever maybe. So you have been given an assignment and you are delivering very well. But you know that maybe after 3 years, this will be an obsolete technology. It is applicable everywhere, not only in each and every industry. So how to cope up with the future? So you have to give some time that where after 3 years or 5 years, that where the things are going to change, right? Like as I gave example that from fossil to it is going to renewable. Now organization has to focus that how I change my business from fossil to renewable to sustainable. At the same time, individual has to focus that how I acquire knowledge in this renewable sector, in the coming, in the future industries or the future knowledge. First, you don't have that opportunity, right? From learning through doing. You have to read, you have to connect with people, and naturally you will see that you will have some course you will have and attend now in YouTube lot of materials are there. You have to improve your network. This is how you can acquire knowledge. Second one, I'm coming to the soft skill. Soft skill is a very important when you are in your professional work. Not not necessarily you have to be in industry. You may be in academics, but soft skills is very important. How it is important? Because as I said that it's same 25% and 75%. Normally in our or in our during our college days, our learning process was mostly on the hard skills, but soft skills somehow we don't get that opportunity or uh, we are a slow learner, whatever maybe. So there, that is the basic difference between when you are in academics and when you are in industry. So now you can ask that what are the soft skills? the basic thing, just remember that when you are in academics, mostly our focus is on our IQ or intelligence. We see that how a person is being in classes, giving the paper, how much intelligence he is having. So that is intelligence quotient. But when you are industry or you are in professional world, emotional quotient is much more important than your IQ. EQ is more important than your IQ. It becomes more important. How it becomes important? Because of the soft skills. Just to give you an example, right? When I entered in my first job, right from the college, I was very had a proud feeling that I am a passport from a very renowned organization institution. So when I started my work in factory, I was given in a shift. Then my interaction started with the people who are very operating level, ground level, like they are machinists, they are operators, they are the people who are actually doing the job on with their hand, very skillful people. So suddenly, one day one person said, "Say, yeah, you have come out from college. That's very good. But here, if you really want to make progress, you want to learn, then you will find that whatever you have learned in your college, you use that learning on a practical environment. Say I don't know that how many of you are having mechanical background. So production technology was one of our paper, our subject, and there we were taught about machine tools and cutting tools, and then and mostly it was the HSS tools, the basic angles and everything. Those are very important. But when I entered into industry, I saw that that sort of cutting tool is not used. They are using use and throw, that is carbide inserts, that is called carbide inserts, and those are having different nomenclature. So whatever the mix is, that you have to apply your learning in the college, but if you want to cope up in the industry, you have to adapt what is being used in the industry. Like if you are in engineering or design, when you learn design, you learn the basics about design. But when you are in industry, you will see that in industry, apart from basic designs, industry is driven by codes and standards. Like you may have hard ASME, you may have hard API. There are different international codes. Those are very important. Now coming to soft skills, that what are the different uh, soft skills which we can talk about, which are very important when you talk in the industry. Like communication is one of the very key soft skills. Communication can be different. You know, all of you know that written communication, verbal communication, and when you are having face-to-face interaction, when you are having virtual conversation like what we are having, those are different. See that the way you write in SMS or in WhatsApp, you cannot write the same language or same wording in your email, right? So different communications have different formats. At the same time, so communication, when you do verbal communication can be one is to one, can be one is to many, can be in an interactive mode. Suppose you are in a meeting, okay, or you are working with a group of people where there is a problem, and all of you are discussing how to resolve that. So it's not like that one person is speaking and all others are listening. So there the communication mode should be different. And when you communicate 1:1, your mode of communication will differ. When you speak to a larger audience, your mode of communication, your modulation of voice, your choice of words, your your speech, everything matters. So this communication helps you to up or to be successful in the industry. It has a huge impact. Next one is critical thinking. Critical thinking is basically a problem solving. Now, I take a pause. I take a pause. I would like to listen from you any example on communication, what you have applied or you are applying on day-to-day basis in your college. Can anybody give any example?
Please repeat.
Sorry,
Sir, please repeat, please.
your voice is breaking. आपका ना voice जो है ना वो network का कुछ issue होगा.
Sir, he is asking to repeat the question.
Question is I want to listen from you. Just give one example of good communication, what you have used for deriving some solution or in your college or in your day-to-day life, which is apart from your teaching or your education. Suppose when you communicate in a club, you communicate in any social program, something.
Sir, while inviting the juniors for any program or any event we have organized, so we go to the classes of juniors batches to advertise the program and invite them for this program. So to gather more crowd there, and also while doing organizing that event, while doing that anchoring, we have used our communication skills.
Very nice. So actually, what I wanted to mean that on everyday basis, we come across this type of things, and it's a everyday learning also. Okay, like just take one example. The way you speak to your friend or your sister or brother, whatever may be, in your any family member who is of same age or younger or a little bit older than you, you cannot have the same mode of communication with elders, right? Say again, the mode of communication, the way of communication you are having with your parents, maybe the same. You cannot speak in the same fashion with your uncles or your anybody who is residing in your apartment or in your in your surrounding environment. Similarly, like face-to-face communication is 80% expression and 20% what you just speak. Now you see in last 1 year how things have changed. All of us, we never imagined. Actually, we are very conversant of using this virtual mode for many years, but we were never actually mentally prepared that in the same factory or in the same working environment, we'll have virtual communication instead of face-to-face or physical conversation. So that's a huge change. So 80% is expression, 20% you are speaking. Now here 80% is suddenly off. Now then you have to change your way. This is how you cope up in develop your soft skill. The next one is like critical thinking. So what is critical thinking? Critical thinking is when you come across any issue or in day out problems or issues in industry. So how you are addressing the issue, how you are thinking on that particular issue or problem, how you are analyzing the data, and how you are reaching it a solution and convincing others also in that particular for that particular solution. That is very important in industry. In academics, you don't have to think in that manner every time. Couple of times it's important, but not every time. So decision making, critical thinking helps decision making. The power of decision making is very important in coping up industry and in your daily life. I should not restrict myself in telling that in industry. It's in your professional world as well as in your personal world. So just give you an example. I was listening one talk of one Ramakrishna Mission. I think that many of you may be knowing. I had a chat with Shivendu also that his name is Swami Sarvapriyananda. He was giving one lecture in Kanpur IIT, and there he was addressing the students that what are the greatest power of human being. So he specifically said three different traits. The number one is the power of concentration, and the number two is power of decision making, and third I will come afterwards. Now, giving this example is critical thinking helps you to make these good decisions. So, how critical thinking happens? Suppose when you come across a problem, right? Just for example, say in your anybody of you is mess secretary or you have been a mess secretary? Any one of you? No. Okay. No problem. Or this in your club, any club secretary or any office bearer of any your students body.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir.
So unknowingly or knowingly, you might have used this critical thinking process when taking decisions, right? Suppose you have to conduct one program. There you have, say, first you ask everybody that what will be the requirement. So you have listed down the requirement, and then when you have budgeted, you have seen that the budget is say 2 times more than what you have, what you can collect. So then the critical thinking, so that is basically data analysis. Now next one. Then you have two options: either collect the money to meet the requirement, or you have to cut your budget to accommodate what you can collect, what you can raise the fund. Or the third way is that you keep a balance, right? Now maybe there are 10 different requirements and 10 different people have given 10 different requirements. You are running a team. You are working with a team, the team members. Now whoever which action, suppose you have to drop 3 actions. Now whoever have given those three proposals will not feel good if you tell them that no, I cannot go by these 3 proposals because I have fund in insufficient fund. Definitely they will ask that then what about the rest 7? So here you use your critical thinking process. Then you have to give a proper analysis. You have to analyze your mind and you have to reflect also that why you have to drop and how you are managing your fund as well as that making it a successful program. So this is called critical thinking process. It helps a lot in problem solving method. We'll come across a lot of problem solving tools. All problem solving tools are basically funneling of problems, funneling of decisions. When you have say 10 problems, how you funnel it to one or two, or if you have say 10 solutions, when you funneling it to or finalizing say the prioritizing it, finalizing it, and then implementing it. So that is a called the second one is critical thinking. Third one is basically which is very important, that is leadership behavior. Now you may question that, see, we are at entry level, we are there to learn. So what is there in leadership? Why we have to have this trait at the entry level? So that's the very important point when you cope up in your professional world. So what is leadership? Leadership is a huge, very huge terminology. If you Google leadership, you will get few million answers. Now, in a nutshell, if you ask me that how to explain leadership, so the smallest example of leadership is that if you ask the what is the definition of leadership. So leadership is basically who can forget the past and deliver on the present and then anticipate the future. That is very important. So in industry, coping up industry or be successful in the industry or whatever, or in professional world, learning is very important. But unlearning means that is also important, and forgetting the past and then moving on, that is also important. You can remember right at the beginning I said that the basic difference in industry is industry changes very fast compared to academics. If you do not forget the past, you cannot cope up in industry or in professional world, because sometime at certain point of time our learning or our knowledge makes us complacent, and when we are complacent, then the greatest danger is that we don't want to come out from the comfort zone. We don't want to take challenges. So there, this leadership behavior helps you. Now, how the second part is that how to say deliver the current. So delivering the current scenario or whatever you are doing in every day, day in, day out. So you can remember I said this 75%, 25% flow. So when you are delivering, always you have to deliver, you have to meet the numbers, you have to give the, suppose whatever task you have given, say it can be you have to deliver as per the monthly plan or yearly plan or whatever. You have a deadline, you have to meet the deadline or whatever, so on and so forth. But apart from that, if you keep a focus on your future, then it will be easier for you to accept the changes and then prepare for the future. So that is leadership. Now, in a nutshell, now how you experience the leadership in your everyday life. I am sure all of you guys, you are you have applied, and you are doing a leadership role in your daily management, maybe in your house or your college or your society or in your ecosystem every day. See, just giving, since Shivendu is here, so Shivendu is, yeah, I know that that he is one of the mm, brightest student in our in his time, and in other time also. So, but as of now, see how he is managing. You ask him, you interact with him 1:1 or in a small group, he will share that now apart from taking your class, he is managing so many things. Like take example for the oxygen concentrator, this whatever the college has done. This is an excellent job. So I, in my 30 years career as being associated with the college, I have never come across such a say success story of college where we have outperformed, or this Shivendu and team and all of you guys have outperformed many reputed colleges and many reputed institutions. And just see the end-to-end implementation, right from concept designing to use of the instruments at various places. So here, when this journey goes right from the design, Shivendu and team, I'm sure he has come across many things apart from the technicalities, the hard skills during the process of implementation, including how to handle the media. Now you can see that this is a perfect example. So here hard skills are there. Here all sort of communication skills are there. Here how to handle the media, how to manage the fund, and how to organize people, how to that consolidate different thought processes. Everything is there. So that's a very good example of leadership behavior or leadership trait. Okay, so another good example. Say here we are having this session. Why we are having this session? What is the purpose? Purpose is to interact with alumni, is it? But that is a very you can say it's a low hanging fruit. But the bigger purpose is that how if the particular person or you guys who have organized this is connecting people, taking input from all of you and helping them for each other's development. So each of you, believe me, each and every one of you is a leader. And that is the philosophy. Just take it from me and keep it in your mind that all of you guys are leader. And in industry, when and or in your professional world, anywhere you are, if you are self-employed, you are doing your business, you are in academics or in industry, if the person who is selecting you or who is choosing you among many, maybe for your promotion, maybe for your selecting your project, maybe for your increment or bonus, monetary, or your or progression or anything, they see this leadership trait. They see that whether this particular person is prepared for the future. That is how you can cope up in your professional work. Now, couple of leadership examples, right? Like how you manage the conflict, how you resolve the dispute, how you delegate, how you make or manage difficult conversations. Many a times, say you will have very difficult conversation, but you have to manage it. Suppose you are organizing, you are in a meeting with a very senior person, and many times that senior person, maybe that senior person is very egoistic. So then the conversation becomes very difficult. So that is also a leadership quality, that how you manage the difficult conversation or difficult situation. Next one is the positive thinking. Now you question that you can ask anybody can give any example of any positive thinking. Let me take a pause. Anyone? All right. So let me just give one example of positive thinking. So you might be hearing this, that positive thinking, positive attitude, that how how it matters and what it means. See, this is the area where it will be very important in your professional life, for coping up your professional life, that how you think of a particular situation. It may be your success, it may be a failure. Not only in professional life, take your daily life. All of us, see, God has made us in such a manner that in our everyday life, starting from our birth to our death, we face everyday challenge every day. We struggle every day. Maybe the form of struggle is different, but we struggle every day. So there, having a positive thinking is very important. So what it means? Suppose we are in a pandemic situation, right? So pandemic, in this pandemic, many of you, so you have thought that in your 4 years you will spend the college life like this, you will make friends, you will do chit chat, you will go for movie, or you will enjoy the, and apart from studies, you will do all these things. Now suddenly there is a change. So, and you see this, you hear, you read lot of negative stuffs, like the country has gone into recession, this automobile sector is not running well, this sector is not running well, this the growth GDP is very less, all this stuff. Among all these are all negativities. Among all these things, how to keep your thinking positive? Positive thinking is basically when you in a particular situation or in your daily life, you focus on the areas which helps you to grow, and not only you which help others to grow because of your actions. That is positive thinking. So why we are having this session? Maybe say, I don't know that whether this session is you are getting some benefit out of it or not, but at least my satisfaction is that, or we have tried, I have tried my best, or Shivendu or all of you who have organized, you have tried your best to create some impact or to motivate others. So positive thinking is not only your thinking, always think about others. Now here the third point comes, which the monk Swami Sarvapriyananda, he said in IIT Kanpur, the third great quality of a human being is unselfishness. See, that actually makes the difference, which is good, which is bad, which is right, which is wrong. Because good and bad, right and wrong, all these things, positive and negative, these are very subjective. If you ask same situation, five different people will give answer five different ways. Now then, what is right, what is wrong, what is positive, what is negative? Positive is basically where it helps you to grow, where it helps you to be more happy, not only you, you and others, you and your surroundings, you and your ecosystem. So that's very important. That is also another very good soft skill. And the last one is teamwork. I don't want to focus on this more or on this, because all of you guys, you know that how teamwork helps, because this is what we are learning. We are learning from our childhood, the day we play with our friends, or our in a playground, or in home, or wherever. Say, if you ask me that what is my greatest takeaway from my college, the greatest takeaway from my college, say, when I was a student, before entering into the college, my thinking was very limited, very narrow, because I was thinking from my perspective only. This is, see, perspective means that perspective in the range of my, in the capacity of my language, the capacity of my background, and everything. And we have certain notions. I had certain, this is good, this is bad. So when I entered in the college, my whole thinking changed. From a very localized person, I became an Indian. First of all. The second one, I felt my realization was people are good or people are bad, irrespective of anything, irrespective of your, from where you come, what is your background, what is your language, what is your faith, anything. Either people are good and people are bad. If you have a same frequency, you can mix with anybody, and that is, believe me, that is going to pay you back entire your journey, in your professional journey and entire life. So this is the greatest benefit of teamwork, what you can apply in your professional world to get benefit out of it. Because without a team, no individual can be successful. This is the basic of any success theory. If any individual, whatever may be, he or she can think that they are exceptional, they're God, but that is not going to happen. And teamwork, suppose when you are playing a football, so, or cricket, so every ball you don't hit four or six, or you don't hit a run, right? So many times we get out of it. We get down in the ground. So it helps you to understand each other, understand each other's feeling, understand each other's emotion. That is very important. So these are the areas where you guys can work right from here, right from your college. Do some practice. Say, this is not a big deal, because knowledge and all these things are acquired. Some talents are there, but it's not a big deal. But more and more you are prepared on this. Just keep a watch everyday life. In our everyday life, we are applying this. Just keep a watch, read something, see the video, read, listen, and try to apply. You will be much more prepared when you are into the professional world. So that side stop over here. It's already 2 minutes over. So now I'll take a pause, and you can ask questions. If I know, I'll try to answer. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
My name is Lisa. My question is, what do we mean by intuition?
Yeah. So very good question. See, from where intuition comes from basically from emotion. Emotion is the first step of intuition. Now, what is meant by intuition? Intuition is, as I said, that soft skill and hard skill. Hard skills are measurable, soft skills are not. in your everyday life, some point of time you will feel that if I take this decision, this will be a correct decision. Every time you are not in a process of full analysis. Suppose you meet a friend, okay, and then you interact, say, for couple of weeks or a couple of days, or then you are something from within your mind. It's telling that he or she can be trusted. That is intuition. Second one, suppose when you are in a crisis, right? So, or you have 3 or 4 opportunities. Say suppose you have 4 jobs in your hand. So when you get a job, say you are having 4 jobs in your hand, you are confused that which decision has to take, which organization I should go, which I should accept. So you have a couple of very limited information, right? The background of the company and the idea of what. Now, what will drive you to take a decision? Because once you are, unless until you work there for long, maybe couple of, actually what is happening over there, whether you will be able to keep up or not. So their intuition matters. How develop a positive future? And can you mind please?
Hello. Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Can you repeat, please?
yeah. My what I was trying to say. Suppose you have 4 jobs in your hand, right?
Yes, sir.
Then, but you are a little bit confused which job has you have to take. There, intuition helps, because when you take a decision, if you use your analysis, you have very limited data. You know the organization, you know the organization, and you know how much they are offering to you, but you don't know that what will be the working environment over there, how the people are, whether you will be able to cope up. Here,
Yes, sir.
matters. Okay. Now, how you develop your intuition? That's most important. See, emotion. If you drive your emotion, do your positive thinking positively, you will see that when you are in a particular situation, your mind will drive you to take the correct decision, and that when that mind is driving you to take the correct decision or take the decision, that is called intuition. Most of the successful people, emotion is a very important trait in their mind.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, have I answered your question?
So I have another question. We have several voices running in our head all throughout the day, and especially in the time of crisis, like when a situation needs an urgent response from you, like either you say yes or no, or whether you should go for a particular thing or not, then how can we detect that it's a voice of ego or it's a voice of intuition? Especially like people like me who are very much less confident in or very much poor in decision making. So how can I detect it, whether it's intuition or whether it's my ego speaking to me?
Your whether the second word what you used, ego.
Ego, like the
Ego.
like
All
24
right.
into 7, some irritating voice is going in my head, like you won't be capable of doing this thing will never happen, yeah, like that you're daydreaming and like this. So how I can just detect my intuition?
Yeah. So answer to your question is, see, there are 2 different things. One is the, as I explained you, the power of decision making. Okay. And number 2 is when you are in a certain particular situation, how your mind is helping you to take the decision, whether it's ego or your intuition. These are, if you see, these are very, very well connected. How it is well connected? The more you have a positive thinking, it will, or more you develop, or more you practice your decision making power, it will help you to take a good decision. That is for sure, as well as it will help you to improve your intuitions. Now, given a particular situation, your mind is telling that no, you should not, I should not do this. But somewhere you are feeling that your intuition says, if I take this decision, it is going to help me in future. Then you are little bit confused in decision making.
Yes, sir.
I can suggest you one thing. First of all, you have to practice. You have to practice to improve your decision making process. That is also an acquired skill. That is not a talent. It's not like that today. If you are little bit confused in taking decisions, tomorrow you won't be able to acquire that skill. That skill is very, very, very much can be acquired. That is number one. And in this particular situation, if you think that whether your heart is telling and whether your head is telling, you always listen to your heart. That is that if try to analyze that your decision, that whether your wrong decision or correct decision, that what are the pros and cons, what are the benefits and what are the days, and still if you are confused, take a decision. Listen to your heart. Listen to it. That's what I suggest, and that what I also do. Have I answered your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. My kindest regards to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. Anyone else?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a question that for having a good communication skills, is it
Yeah.
important to be a good listener?
That's one of the most important trait. You can remember, Ankita, that in the very beginning of our talk, I gave you some broad classifications. Then in your professional life, 40% time you listen, 30%, 35% time you speak, and then 16% and 9%. So being a good listener is one of the uh, leadership qualities. How? Because I explained you that in the conversation process, you can have several mode of conversation, right? So in one conversation mode, that he will speak, others will listen. In another conversation mode, suppose you are in a group discussion, we'll see that one point of time that everybody talks. So, and another, you will see that in another area, suppose you encounter a problem. As an engineer, you will see that engineers normally there they there are logics behind their decisions mostly. So when they they jump into solutions very fast. And when we encounter problem in everyday life, we'll see that most of the time our tendency is not to listen and not and tell our decisions before listening. Unless until we listen, we won't be able to explore the issue, explore the problem. So listening, good listener is one of the major leadership trait. Another leadership quality, another one, good listening helps you to understand the problem better to think the problem or the issue in different direction, to acknowledge others view, to recognize others view also. So thanks Ankita for raising this question. It's very important, very helpful also. Right?
Sir, I have another. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Sir, I have another question.
Yeah.
Uh, as a team leader, if there are many inactive members in our team and
Yeah.
team is not performing well, so what to do so that we can make them active and build interest among them?
Yeah, that's a good question. So it happens, right? You all many of you, I think, do you know bell curve? Are you aware of bell curve? You are going to have this experience this when you are especially in industry. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes,
all
sir.
right. So in bell curve, see, it's a basically we'll see that 5% people normally they are excellent performers. Another 10%, they are 10 to 15%, they are basically above average. 65%, they are average. Okay. So if we consider this is 80%, so another 15% are below average, and 5% is, I should not say non-performer. They are in the pyramid. They are at the lowest level. So this is broad classification of a bell curve. Now in a team, so when you are in an industry or you are leading a team, basically everywhere you or anywhere you are basically leading a team, it's a small team or a larger. You will find this type of behavioral trait that so normally you will form that well. We analyze the people. Suppose there are 10 people. We see that these are these are the basic distribution. Now, how to motivate them? Question is that you have to. This is where listening also is very important, as well as that how we are using our leadership skills. So you will see that everybody is not interested in the same fashion. Like in an organization, maybe some of the people they are very good in sales, but they are not interested in making their hand dirty. Some of the people they are very much interested in working by hand, or they are interested in working in manufacturing. Some of the people they want to use their brain and more they want to apply what they have learned from the college or being into more into the academic side. They want to be in the design like that. So there are in a say team, in a team you will find different people having different inclinations. So being a team leader, it's very important that how you use your leadership skill to understand the people, interact with them, then listen from them, then try to find out that what is their area of interest. That is the task. Then you be transparent and be candor also. Talk to them. Talk to them not in public. Because if you tell them in public that you are not performing, you are not involved, you are not engaged, they will feel humiliated. Talk to them in person. Let's see this. What is your problem? Why you are not engaged? Why you are not involved in this particular project? What is your? You don't like the assignment? Do you like to have different assignment, or do you are you facing this assignment as very difficult? You are not getting any support. Whether you need any help, hand holding. whether you need any other support, any training or something like that, try to understand the person, because most of the time there is a model called TPC model: technical, then E is political, and C is cultural. So when we come across people and when we discuss any issue in a team, most of the time people come across and say that this is a technical. They will give technical reason for not. That why don't you want to do? Say I have a problem of going over there. This is a very distant. Bus is not available. This and vehicle is not available. People are not available. They will give all these technical explanations. People are not interested. Blah blah blah. But when you start having a good conversation, you will see that most of the cases, either it's a political issue. Political issue means that person doesn't want to do, or he is having something different in his mind. He or she feels that if he or she does that job, something is going to happen in a negative way, or something is going to hamper his personal benefit. So he or she starts behaving political or cultural. Cultural is like safety, EHS, environment and safety. Many things. Discipline is a cultural issue. EHS is a cultural issue. Many things are getting involved in a particular job or a couple of times. There are many cultural issues which we are not actually uh, grown up or actually जो परवरिश बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में, our development from child to a adult, that has not happened properly or whatever may be because of the environment. So that becomes a cultural issue. You can see that there are basic differences between Europeans and Indians. Asians are more emotional. Europeans are not emotional. Americans are not that emotional. So that's a cultural issue. If you see the difference between East Europe and West Europe, there are differences in culture. You see Southeast Asia and South Asia, there are cultural differences. If you see Japan and India, both are in Asia. So there is huge cultural difference. So try to understand. 80% time in cases it will be resolve the problem. You will be able to resolve the issue. Otherwise, you have to take, if everything fails, then you have to take an administrative decision. Have I answered your question, Ankita?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else? Yeah.
Sir, I have one more question. I'm Lisa. Like few minutes back, you just said that we should, between our head and heart, we should always take up the decision whichever heart speaks to us. But
Yes.
what's the mode of detecting that it's the decision or it's something which our heart is speaking to us? Because
Yeah.
generally I suffer from a problem distinguishing whether something is coming from my mind or something is coming from my heart, and this keeps me confusing for days and days and days. So what should I do for that?
Yeah. So see, here the difference between again I'm giving an example. Say Swami Vivekananda, he used to use this terminology 3H: head, heart, and hand. Okay. What is the
Oh,
basic difference between head and heart? Head is basically logical.
yes,
If you think with head, you can analyze with data. Okay.
yes,
Suppose
yes,
you have two offers. You know that here you have say X money, here you have Y money. Here the organization is having say 100 crore business, here it's 500 crore. Here it's a say 100 kilometers to your place, here it's 1000 kilometers from your place. So these are all gate analysis. Analyze it. but heart drives with emotion, drives with emotion. So whatever you are confused, try to analyze that whether your decision making is based on your data analysis or whether you are have first of all whether you have data to analyze and whether definitely whenever you are taking a decision whether it is based on data or not. If it is based on data, definitely your head is working. And even if your that is not based on your data, based on logics, where then your heart is. Give an example. Suppose you have job. You are your offer is say 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 10 lakhs or whatever maybe X or Y or and another job where this is but it is say 100 kilometers from your parents' place and there you are getting say X plus you are getting 3X but it is say 2000 kilometers from your parents' place. Next is you want to be in touch with your parents in a frequent manner when you are in your job, right? So here you can
Yes, sir.
come, here you can come 15 once in 15 days, and there you can come in once in a year. Here number of days, and this is where your heart is the head is telling. Now you have analyzed. Now definitely when you are getting an offer of 3x, then your head will say that accept the 3x offer. But your heart will say that my priority is my parents rather than earning 3x rupees because my parents they need me this at this time. So then your heart will speak.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. So you have to take a decision. Then you will be able to know whether your heart is speaking or your head is speaking.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so
Already
much,
we are
sir.
1.5 hours. Thanks, Lisa.
Hi, salutations.
Hello, sir. Sir, I am Debolina and I have a question.
Yeah.
What are some common misconceptions that students have according about the industry? This is my question.
Yeah. Number one misconception is that if you are a very good in academics, you will be successful in industry. That is the number one misconception. Number two is that if you focus only on hard skills, neglecting your soft skills, you will be successful in industry. This is not only coming out from the college and getting into the industry. I have seen people more than 20 years in the industry, 25 years in the industry. They are very technical people, fantastic, excellent technical. But they are in a misconception that only technical knowledge drives success. That is a major misconception. Okay, so both are equally important. Technical knowledge and hard skills are foundation. Unless until you have that, because that is why how the curriculum is made. Curriculum is not made to be very specific to some specific industries, because you may get into automobile, you may into power, you may get into healthcare or aviation or agriculture or air conditioning, refrigeration. Every function, every sector has subsectors, subsectors, everything. So that is another one. Third one. Third one misconception is that if you see that in academics, the students, their performances are very much dependent on their individual success individual inputs or individual they can call it their diligence, their labor, or their whatever input they give. Suppose if they study 10 hours or 12 hours, they will have a good result. If they study well, they are diligent, their success and failures are dependent on them. But in industry, there's a misconception that even if you are very much capable, very much hardworking, diligent, if you do not know how to work with a team and how to delegate, how to grow, when you grow, how to change your strategy in your teamwork, in your delegation, in your handling issues, then an individual, how far he is excellent, he won't be able to be successful in course. So these are the three basic misconceptions sometimes the students carry when they are in the industry. But this is I shared my view, and have I answered your question?
Yes, sir, I have got my answer. Thank you.
Thanks.
Any more questions? Does anyone have any question?
Sir, I have
Am I
another
audible?
question.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, I wanted to ask, as you were talking about the hard skills and soft skills that are required to be a part of an industry. So my question was that nowadays, like most of the projects that we are doing, it's basically based on computer science related topics like machine learning and artificial intelligence. So it is like very easy for the students from the computer science and EC department to get knowledge on in these fields. But for us who are from the core branches, we are not really taught coding as a curriculum in our syllabus. So whatever we have to do, we have to do learn it from like other outside resources. So, sir, my question was that how much like in-depth knowledge in these in these topics like artificial intelligence and machine learning is required to be recruited into the industries.
It is very specific to the nature of industry you are working, right? So if you can reconnect that this why you are in a core branch, right? Suppose if you are doing your graduation in mechanical or electrical, but you are learning this uh, machine learning or artificial intelligence apart from your regular courses. Why you are learning? Because you see an opportunity in in market or in industry after getting out from the college, and it does not necessarily talk about or need your core competency in your subject, right? Because you are mechanical or electrical. Now it is strictly depending on the nature of uh, organization you are willing to join and you are willing to work. Nature of job. Suppose if you are in say for example, if you are in Infosys, everybody in Infosys they are not working on artificial intelligence and machine learning. So it's very important for you that where you want to work and in that particular organization in which function you want, and if your hiring organization and your choice those matches, or if it's a perfect marriage, then it will be successful. Otherwise, then wherever if you take any other opportunity, then you have to cope up with that opportunity. These subjects are very, very specific. These are very specific subjects, very specific knowledges, where application is also very specific domain. So all these things are to be managed. Otherwise, see, this is another another area where the more and more you grow in the industry, we'll see that it's like it is called, initially it's miles wide and then inch deep. Your domain is very high, very large, and but it is very depth is very low. But more and more you grow, more and more you will see that your depth is getting more, but width is getting less. This is how people grow in the industry. So you're learning machine learning or artificial intelligence or whatever it may be, that will be applicable if that specific opportunity is there for you as well as the organization once you are hired.
Any more questions?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. If,
Sir,
yeah.
sir, there is a question. Means there is a slok which I heard from my father. That is Vidya Tadati Vinyam Vinyadi Yadi Patratam Patrya Dhanam Apnati Dhanam Dharmanta Sukham. Sir, can we relate this slok with present day world education system?
You can explain a little bit because I'm not that
Yes,
much
sir.
conversant with Sanskrit. Huh? Sorry. Huh?
Okay, sir. Sir means that education gives humility, humility gives character, and from that comes wealth, and from wealth, good deeds, and from that comes joy. Means can we relate with present day education system, which is more inclined towards technical development only?
I would say that this is whose sentences. Who,
Sir,
this
this is a Sanskrit slok which I used to hear from my father in my childhood
yeah.
days.
Yeah, so let me just explain. So this is very, very relevant. Yesterday it was relevant, today it is very much relevant, and in future it will be relevant also. How? If you uh, just repeat shortly, I will explain one by one. Just repeat the first three words.
So education gives humility, humility
Yeah.
gives character.
Yeah. Now, how education gives humility? See, just giving you an example, I was in a conversation with one very high official with one government official, and and during the course of conversation, he was giving that he was telling me that, Niladri, you know that more and more you become knowledgeable, become more humble. So knowledge, what is knowledge? Knowledge is basically education, right? So education is not like only what we are reading, what we are writing, or what we are getting in the colleges. Education is every day. And more we are educated, it gives us more opportunity to have a conversation of our life. And that makes us more humble. So that's very, very. That second thing, second what you said, that after that,
Humility gives character, from that
yeah.
comes
Uh,
wealth.
now how humility, so this is called humility. So now how humility, you can see in GE, there are three basic missions or basic spirits. The first one is act with humility. You just imagine an organization, 70 billion organization, they have set up their spirit that act with humility. How that humility, when we are having proper education, we are humble, we are deal with humility. Humility needs to deal people with respect. All right, you be a good listener. You listen to others. You learn from each other. These are all example of humility. So all these things enriches people, and when it enriches people, it helps you to be a good human being. Okay, and ultimately, how it is connected to happiness. See, there is a transition. There is a transition from pleasure to happiness. Right? Pleasure is very short lived. Suppose you saw a good movie, you have a very good dinner, you had lunch. So after certain point of time, we forget. So pleasure is very very short. So when we buy a car or we have a good mobile, these are all pleasures. Then it's engagement. How it's transformed from pleasure to engagement. Engagement means when you are associated with an organization. See again, I want to give example of Shivendu. She, apart from what he is doing as an education from his educational part, so I see him that very engaged. Apart from what he is doing in day in day out. So how it is engaged means when you are contributing to the organization, we are contributing to the society, we are engaged with the people. So your happiness factor gets more. The last one is the purpose. Purpose is, suppose when you are doing any job, your education will actually help you to go to that place, right from transition from having pleasure to work with a purpose. That gives a perfect happiness of your life. So whatever your father has given example, I was not knowing this. Thank you for sharing. This was relevant, very, very much relevant in our earlier days. This is very much relevant in our today also in our education system, and this will be because this is related to our character building. Have I explained properly?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, so it's already 40 minutes over. It was I really enjoyed the conversation and interaction. I don't know that whether you have enjoyed because it's Saturday and many of you may have planned that after one hour I will talk, but it's almost 1 hour 3 minutes. I leave it to you.
Hello, sir. So this was a great learning session from you. We thank you for your participation and we wish you all the best. And we hope for more learning opportunities from you. And
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, please
no,
go
sir.
ahead.
1 minute, sir.
Thank you, Mr. And from the here as well as from the SciCell, we like to hello. We like to present a certificate of appreciation, though it is the e-form, e-certificate.
So this is the difference. What when I was in college and I see you guys. So this is from my heart. Uh, I share with many people, and I try to share that people in this younger generation who are much more ahead than us. And this is from my heart. I am delivering to all of you. be confident and always look like this, but much more ahead than us in many aspects. Thank you, Shivendu, and thank you everybody for this appreciation. I'm really
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
We are very happy to interact you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice
Thank you,
weekend.
sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
See you. Okay.
Thank you. Good night.